The Emperor protects. You know that, right? Spoke Zelfa as she addressed the figure standing before the ramp of the gunship, hovering on the landing pad awaiting the chance to escape this doomed hive world. I know, spoke the slender form of Helena, with tears in her eyes, as the realization of what she was about to do began to affect her. Her master, her captor, and her mentor, Inquisitor Ararant, kept silent and spoke no words as the ramp raised on the gunship while Helena stood standing on the platform. The former hired assassin, now turned inquisitorial agent, with glowing power spear in her hand, turned around and away from the gunship as it lifted off and sped away into orbit under a hail of bolt fire. She turned around to the sight of decay and horror. Bloated abominations of Nurgle, grubbling, bloated, rotten demons, alongside abominable traitorous darties of the Death Guard. At their head was a true evil, a true abomination. Helena addressed it. You, Death Lord, I would have words with you. The abomination was giant, a monstrous humanoid creature with moth wings, rusted armor, and carrying an oversized scythe. It looked down and addressed the tiny form of the human addressing it. You know me. I am Helena Valtorian of the Emperor's Inquisition. Of course I know you. Recognizing and understanding monsters is what we do. Monster. I am a Primarch, created by your false corpse Emperor at the dawn of your Imperium. Lord of the Death Guard, conqueror of 1,000 worlds, the herald of the great-grandfather, Lord of decay and ruin. I'm a little bit more than just a monster. Helena shook her head. No, you're just a monster. You're just a thing, an abomination, a mindless killer. You cannot create or build, you just decay and destroy. What, you mortal? Are you trying to teach me something? No, not teach, but tell. You and I, we are just killers for higher powers. We are not welcome or needed in this universe. It is time for us to go. And who's going to make me? You, with that little stick in your hand. Helena ignited the power field on her spear and took up a combat pose. I doubt it, but let's give this a try anyway. She launched herself at the demon Primarch. For a creature so filled with rot and bloat it moved impossibly fast, jodding her strikes with a gurgle of amusement. His strikes were as fast as his dodges, and Helena struggled to dodge the fast slashes and cuts from Mortarian's oversized scythe. Her gen-enhanced body, from all the augmentations from her years as a killer for hire, and now as an agent of the Inquisition, were the only things keeping her moving and alive. After a vicious overhead strike nearly cut her in two lengthways, Helena knew she would need to do something unexpected to obtain any sort of victory. She did without hesitation. Helena threw her power spear with all her gen-enhanced force at the demon Primarch. Her throw was true and it landed in the abomination's gut above the pelvis. The force and impact of the blow against the creature's rusted armor caused the power field of the spear to detonate, the spear exploding and sending small chunks of armor and rotten flesh blasting out from the demon Primarch. Mortarian didn't seem to notice or react in pain, but in one swift movement he drew his oversized pistol, that Helena remembered in the brief second before it fired was called the Lantern, and the Primarch fired. Helena vanished in a concentrated blast of light. Her last thought was of satisfaction. She had stood against the very personification of death itself, and didn't flinch. Mortarian, Primarch of the Death Guard, Lord of Death and Decay, holstered the lantern and took up his scythe, and ordered his sons to continue the damnation of this world.